breakfast. We have bagels and cream cheese, special K with skim milk.
Oh, I can't have bagels, dear. They make my gums bleed. And the last time I drank skim milk, I had diarrhea for a week.
We need to get a hold of the rest of the team.
Okay, what's this team you're talking about?
Resistance fighters.
Oh, you mean dissidents, disgruntled, disturbed tribal members who deep down don't want any real progress or change?
Once again, sis, you don't have all the facts. You haven't been on the res since the day you turned 18.
I asked you not to use that word.
I got a text from Porgles.
Porgles?
Chester and Eleanor's kid, you went to high school with him? He was sweet on you.
You mean that fat kid who had a consigo?
Read it.
Not out loud. This place might be bugged.
This place is not bugged. Disturbed, disgruntled, and paranoid.
Let me read it when you're done.
So Lucy doesn't really believe we're disturbed. And she didn't mean to suggest that Porgles was undesirable because he has impetigo and lice and rotted teeth. She knows all those elements are a hardship. But when you speak out against the tribal council, you get, what's that word they use? Blacklisted. You get blacklisted by the tribal council. No health care, no cheese, shredded pork or other commodities. I suppose we could have kept our mouth shut, minded our P's and Q's, but that's almost impossible to do when you live in tar paper shacks with holes in the screen and no weather stripping. It's hard to walk by the tribal council building seeing all those Volvos and Cadillacs when we're driving junk cars with no air conditioning. It's hard to walk by their $1 million homes and not wrap toilet paper in the trees, especially when Charmin costs nearly $5 for 4 rolls. And I can't use anything with Charmin. I break out my rash from those there rolls.
I found a can of evaporated milk for your special K.
So Lucy doesn't really mean what she says. It's just that she's been away from home for such a long time. That happens once you leave the res. You forget about the good times.
Can you stomach handle evaporated milk?
And that's why I brought this for Lucy. I'm going to make her a traditional wedding dress. Help her remember her place in the family. And the good times too, of course.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, nobody, dear. I was just thinking out loud about that time when you were in the 10th grade and your Uncle Willie brought over that big buck he shot and so we could also keep the hide. Do you remember tanning that buckskin hide with me? Do you remember how much fun it was?
Yes, I do. My hair reeked for weeks. The only one in school who dared come near me was Porgles. To this day, I can't stand the sight of buckskin or the taste of deer meat.
I see.
Is that all he wrote? Just the one text?
Yes, that's all I wrote. Just what you read in that one text. All right. Team meeting has come to order. I got an update on the situation from Porgles.
Yes, let's start this team meeting. We need to figure out how to resolve the trouble you're on.
Things are still way too hot back home.
You need a lawyer. Actually, an entire law firm.
Porgles says we should lay low.
I agree. I know the director of the Manhattan Indigenous Center. They have a storage room, and it's air conditioned.
Good news is there were no casualties after all.
You mean no one died in all that gunfire? Thank God it didn't scan aim.
So we can go back home?
Are you out of your mind? Just because luckily no one was killed doesn't mean you're in the clear.
We need to get the newspaper's attention. Get our side of the story out there.
Skunk, I think the media has covered your side of the story pretty good.
Well, Porgles says we miscalculated. We should have done more if we raided the tribal council center. We should have taken hostages. Refused to leave until our command.
So you're going back to do it all over again?
Take hostages if we have to.
We need to get the blazer running again.
Great. If you two want to spend the rest of your lives in prison, that's your decision. But Mother Pomp is staying with me.
Mother Pomp was an important part of the team.
I know! She rides shotgun.
Will you help us, Lucy?
Under one condition. I'll pay to have the blazer repaired, but not until you agree to meet with the lawyer first.
Oh, man.
No, it's the only way. If you think legal help is insufficient, then yes, you can go back to the reservation. I'll pay your way, and I won't try and stop you from taking Mother Palm.
What if the lawyer rats on us?
He won't.
Sis, you know full well that lawyer can't really help us until we get into the system, turn ourselves in, and we never make bond. None of us.
You don't know that, Leela. With the right lawyer and judge.
Mother Palm will be in jail for 10, 20 days waiting arraignments.
I can bail her out.
Do you really want to put her through fingerprinting and a mugshot?
I'm going to Helicab to Midtown. I already called ahead and made arrangements for your stay at the Indigenous Center. I suggest you pack your bags and meet me downstairs.
And what are you going to do, Lucy?
I'm going to go see my boss. Judge Jeffries knows all the lawyers in town. He'll put me in touch with someone who handles your kind of tribal trouble.
I need to have a smoke and think about all of this.
Yeah, if we're not downstairs in 10 minutes, that means we'll find another way back.
10 minutes.
There are actually 2 texts for Portals. I didn't tell Leela about the second text, because I still need time to think about things. Porgal says they're willing to consider going easy, maybe even dropping all charges against Leela and Mother Pomp if I turn myself in. Maybe I should. I've been feeling for a long time now that I need to move on. I know all the signs. Leela and me, we never do it much anymore. And when we do it, she always finishes before me. Do you know what that does to a resistance fighter's manhood? Leela just rolls over, reaches for the light, and starts reading our tribal constitution. We read our tribal constitutions looking for violations. The leaders on our res, they constantly violate our rights. I think Leela's more in love with the resistance movement than she is with me.
What do you think? Maybe we should meet with that lawyer. Maybe he can work out some kind of deal. I'll turn myself in exchange for dropping all charges against Mother Palm. Maybe that lawyer can work out some kind of amnesty deal with the state of New York for Skunk. Skunk should start a whole new life here in this big city. Skunk's never been more than 200 feet off the res. He needs to move on. I've been trying to think of a good time to tell him that, but I just don't think there is one.
Maybe I should hitchhike back home, leave in the middle of the night. Leela used to run a beauty parlor before she met me, before I got her caught up in fighting the tribal corruption. I bet she could get a job in New York cutting hair. She could start a whole new movement in the beauty business, like a new hairstyle, like the Res look.
And if Skunk does stay in New York, he would see there are plenty of other fish in the ocean. Or maybe, at least, he would see there's more to this world than just bumming around the res with me. So what's it gonna be?
You tell me, Leela.
You two can do what you like. I'm catching that cab, gonna get settled in the new place.
You gonna meet with the lawyer, Mother Palm?
Sure, if he can find a way to keep us all here together in New York. I need at least a week to finish Lucy's wedding dress and present it to her properly. After that, they can throw me in jail. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get cooking duty. Good old-fashioned Indian meals in the slammer. I don't know about then, but I'd like to explore the city some. Ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed of going to the top of the Empire State Building and see as far as I could see. But I gave up on that dream a long time ago. Oh, I've missed Lucy terrible since she left the reservation, but now I could see she was only following her dreams. I should have never given up on mine, and neither should they. They should go for a long walk through that big park, feed the pigeons, pet the squirrels, lie on their backs in the grass, and see if they can find their dreams again.
What do you mean by you? Were you expecting someone else?
This isn't even my place.
Like I said, who's expecting who?
Listen, Dag, I need to confess something.
I know. Oh God, I'm gonna puke.
It's not at all what you think. Do you need some Pepto-Bismol, some Alka-Seltzer?
For morning sickness?
Oh, come off it.
I speak to you, Dave. It can't wait.
How did you find me?
It's called stalking.
Dag, I thought we had a clear understanding between us.
Yeah, well, that was before you became an expected father.
Dag, you're not pregnant. You weren't pregnant the last time or the time before that. It's biologically impossible.
Tell that to the good folks at Procter & Gamble. My test came out blue this time. Blue as in baby blue. Yes, boy.
Hold on a minute.
He's coming, isn't he? Well, I can't wait to meet this man.
It's a long, complicated story, Dag, and I'd love to tell you everything, but for now, could you just do me a huge favor and leave and make sure you take the stairs and not the elevator?
I'm not going anywhere until you tell me who he is and what his intentions are. Is he only interested in a quickie, or does he want dinner as well?
Dag, please.
Well, it matters, Dave. A quickie or dinner. Which is it?
Neither. She hates quickies, and she probably already ate. I'm engaged.
Now I am gonna puke.
Well, would you at least do it off the fire escape? Give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get rid of her, and if I can't, then you can bust me back in here and expose me.
I guess that only seems fair.
Thank you.
You know, Dave, I hope for your sake you can explain yourself out of this one. Because if you can't, I swear you will never see our child.
Cut it out. Get out there. Get out there.
You gave away my petunias? I gave them to you, not her.
They all look the same. How can you tell the difference?
I know my flowers, Bustable.
Okay. I can explain now to just go!
Go? I just got here.
Oh no, I was yelling at the Blue Jays to stop picking at your petunias.
Blue Jays don't eat petunias, Zania. They're probably crows.
Say, I was just thinking of eating crow. Italian. How about we grab a bottle of wine and head over to Miss Ellie's?
I just got here. Besides, I already ate. The judge's wife asked me to stay for dinner.
Terrific, you got your promotion. I want to hear all about it in the kitchen.
No, I wanted to give the judge my anniversary card.
Oh, I
I
bet.
forgot to ask you to take it to the party last night.
Oh, I bet you love the card. I'll make myself a turkey on rye and pour us a glass of Merlot.
Merlot? The bottle's empty.
We drank the Merlot.
You drink the Merlot? Who do you think? Me. Wine eases my cramps. Damien, what are you doing with the wedding invitations?
I was just trying to help out. You said yourself you have a million zillion things to do.
But you're stuffing them all wrong. The tip of the eagle feather always points upward.
Lucy, I'm not sure there's any cultural protocol on how to insert a fake eagle feather in a wedding invitation.
Aren't you going to answer that?
Yeah, I'll take it on the fire escape.
Is that the protocol for private calls these days?
You know I get terrible service in this building. I'll be right back.
Fine, babe. Take the call wherever you'd like. I'll get out of your space.
That was maybe 3 minutes at the most.
I have to go pee.
You couldn't have waited 2 more minutes.
Obviously, you have never been with a child.
This is not going to work, Dag.
You can say that again. She's not helping to raise our child.
Meet me downstairs. We'll get dinner. Italian.
I don't know if my stomach can handle fettuccine tonight. Why, thank you, Dame. I was beginning to think you'd never let me in.
Lucy, this is Dagwood.
Dagwood.
Nice to meet you, Dagwood.
Just Dag.
Lucy, dear. I'm Dame, Ian's fiance.
Yes, I've heard. Congratulations. I don't know why Dame is considering the second at one of the Indigenous Center.
I'm representing Dagwood in a,
Paternity case.
that.
I didn't know your practice was family law, or are you moonlighting on the side, Dame?
It's pro bono work for the Manhattan Indigenous Center, their legal aid department, of which Dagwood is seeking services.
Deer? Did you say your name was Deer? What tribe is that?
Oh, I have no clue. I was orphaned at a very young age.
Really?
Raised by non-native people.
Oh, you poor child. If only you could discover the truth about who you truly are.
Dag just called a few minutes ago and said something big came up in his case, so I asked him to stop by since he lives just down the street.
The father refuses to take a paternity test.
I assumed you were the father.
Well, yes and no. We have to figure all that out. Don't we, Dave?
take that call, but it was very nice meeting you, Dad Wood.
Oh, dang. I hope you don't think this sounds bitchy, but I know Indian bullshit when I hear it.
Dag, stop.
Your bride-to-be story about which res
I
she's
mean it,
from?
Dag.
She knows her tribe. Believe me, she knows her people.
Listen, Dag, we're through. We're gonna end this once and for all, tonight, over dinner. You're eating fettuccine whether you like it or not, even if I have to shove each and every noodle right down your throat. Don't. That was slipping, you know it.
Splish splash, you is taking it back.
Just don't. Well, that went pretty well, in a crappy sort of way. That Dad, he really prides himself on playing the trickster, even after we agree that we have to break it off. That I can't deny being my true self, a closet heterosexual. He has to come around and try messing with my head. But Dad doesn't mess with my head, he messes with my heart. But life's all about trade-offs, and I made a commitment to marry Lucy dear. So that's the end of that, right?
That call I took, it was from the judge. He said he'd call me once he found a lawyer for my family to meet with. The best civil rights lawyer in the city. Someone I know very well. The man I'm going to be married to, Damien Finney. He said he'd work closely with Damien, pull any strings he could. If Damien takes on my family's case, then he's bound to learn the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Her orphan story is falling like a Macy's mannequin up the Empire State Building, isn't it? Crash. Somebody call a plastic surgeon, right? I've seen it a million times. Indian girls who fall for white guys. Believe you me, when I first met Dan, I told him all about my crazy family. I told him if we ever walk down the aisle together, my family is not invited. That baggage is staying on the regs. And you can just bet she's on the dame's sexual proclivities. I certainly can't help out with that one.